ricominciare, per favore?
Trust me, I'm about to be a doctor. If I could.
The story begins in the summer of 1983. A warm breeze moves through the garden, climbs the stairs, and enters the room of 17-year-old Elio. Every year, Elio's family spends the summer in a small Italian town. Like always, his father, Adam, who is an archaeologist, invites a student assistant to stay with them during the vacation. This year, the guest is a young man named Oliver. Because of this arrangement, Elio has to give up his room. Oliver moves into it, while Elio shifts to the room next door. Oliver arrives after a long journey. He is tired and falls asleep right away, staying in bed until dinner time. He doesn't wake up or come down to eat, which creates an awkward situation for Elio. To break the silence and see if Oliver is awake, Elio drops a book on the floor on purpose. The sound startles Oliver, and he quickly sits up. He apologizes and explains that he is very tired from traveling. That night, he decides to skip dinner and rests instead. The next morning, Oliver comes down for breakfast. He is fresh, smiling, and full of energy. He speaks easily with everyone at the table and seems very relaxed. He doesn't act formal or shy. Elio's mother notices that Oliver really likes fried eggs and encourages him to eat more, but Oliver politely refuses each time, shaking his head with a smile. Oliver's calm and friendly behavior stands out. During the conversation, he makes a small joke that shows his easygoing nature. Elio quietly watches him and takes note of these small things. While looking at Oliver, Elio notices that he wears a necklace. Hanging from the necklace is a small symbol of the Jewish faith. This catches Elio's attention. Elio also has a Jewish star necklace, but he has never worn it in public. His mother once told him it's better to be quiet about it and stay cautious. Seeing Oliver wear it openly makes Elio think. He is surprised that Oliver, an American, is so confident about showing his beliefs. After breakfast, Oliver says he needs to go to the local bank to open an account. Since he is new to the town and doesn't know the way, Elio offers to take him. They leave the house together, and Elio becomes Oliver's guide around town. This short trip marks the beginning of their time together and sets the stage for what follows during the summer. Though they are different in many ways, this simple morning starts to build a connection between them, one based on curiosity, quiet observation, and small acts of kindness. Elio and Oliver ride their bikes together, talking and laughing along the way. A single crow sits on a Mediterranean pine tree, singing a few soft notes, but the sound quickly disappears as the buzzing of cicadas takes over. While they talk, Oliver casually pulls up his pants in a relaxed way. Elio notices how free and confident Oliver acts. He has never seen anyone behave like this before, and it makes him even more curious about him. Elio wants to get closer to Oliver. He tries to talk more, Worthna hoping to form a bond, but every time he asks something or tries to connect, Oliver keeps his distance. He always answers with the same short phrase, "All right," nothing more. It makes Elio feel confused and shut out, but his interest only grows. Later that day, they return home. Oliver sits with Adam, Elio's father, and starts working on research. Adam's wife brings him a glass of juice, which he accepts. Instead of feeling embarrassed, Adam looks impressed. He respects Oliver's knowledge and confidence. Elio watches this moment while half lying on the sofa. He turns his head and stares at Oliver, growing more and more curious. He doesn't know when it started, but now he pays close attention to everything Oliver does. From this point on, Elio quietly observes him every day. Soon, Oliver becomes very popular in town. He blends in easily with the locals. At the bar, he teaches the older men how to play cards. On the soccer field, he plays so well that he stands out, even when surrounded by skilled players. The young women cheer for him, and the energy around him feels electric. No matter what Oliver does, it looks effortless. Whether it's playing sports or joining conversations, he handles it all with confidence and charm. His personality seems to shine brighter when he's outside, active and full of life. The more people see him, the more they're drawn to him. Elio watches all of this quietly. He sees how others react to Oliver, and he feels something strange inside. These feelings are new. He's never experienced emotions like this before. Not for a boy, not for anyone. His mind feels confused, and his body reacts in ways he doesn't fully understand. It's not just admiration anymore. Something deeper is growing. At 17, Elio is in who he is. It becomes personal, emotional, and more intense with each passing day. Not just at Oliver, but at himself. He's angry that he cares so much. He spends time grooming. The sunlight blazes down, so bright that everyone wears sunglasses, not just to block the light, but maybe to hide what they feel inside. Elio leans gently by the pool, calm on the outside, but watching Oliver carefully. Every movement Oliver makes draws Elio's eyes, as if he's searching for meaning in even the smallest actions, this time on the piano. Instead of playing it normally, Elio changes the style and plays it in a dramatic, teasing way, like a joke. It's a playful version that doesn't match the original at all. Oliver frowns, clearly annoyed, but Elio looks even more pleased, almost like that was his goal. From the beginning, Elio already knew how to play the original. Instead, he watches. In the middle of the dance floor, Oliver is moving closely with a girl. Their bodies are close. They laugh. They lean in. Their eyes lock with an intensity that says everything. They look like they belong together, like they already share something private. Elio sees the girl secretly slide her thigh between Oliver's legs, and that moment says it all. It's a quiet signal. In that moment, Elio is no longer guessing. He knows the truth now, and it hurts. Seeing Oliver dance so closely with the girl, Elio feels a storm building inside his chest. His heart becomes restless. He doesn't understand why this girl, Chiara, can do so easily what he has been quietly dreaming of. Angry and confused, Elio storms onto the dance floor and grabs Marga's hand. She's the girl who secretly has feelings for him. Without saying much, they start dancing together wildly, almost like trying to Marga in front of everyone, almost bragging. He says if he wanted to, he could take her hand, and she'd say yes in a second. He wants to see if Oliver reacts, maybe even gets jealous. But Oliver stays calm and simply replies with one word. Wow. Elio's father, Adam, notices the strange tension between the two young men. He says nothing about it, but gently suggests they all go to the lake. He says there's something special there. An old artifact just pulled out of the water. Before they leave, Carrara shows up. She walks very close to Oliver, acting sweet and clingy. Elio watches them, and his jealousy boils again. But instead of showing it, he starts complimenting Carrara. He says she's graceful, charming, even perfect for Oliver. He goes as far as offering to set them up together. On the outside, it's a friendly joke. But deep down, Elio is hoping to push Oliver into showing some emotion. Anything that reveals he feels the same. This time, it works. Oliver finally snaps. He gets angry, though he tries to hide it. Strangely, this makes Elio happy. It's the reaction he wanted. At least now he knows Oliver is not as distant as he pretends to be. They arrive at the lake in the golden light of late afternoon. The air is warm and quiet. As they walk along the shore, they spot an old broken stone arm lying near the water. It's part of the artifact. Elio uses the moment to offer a kind gesture, a sort of peace. He reaches out gently. Oliver doesn't hesitate. He grabs the broken arm and holds it up. There's a quiet smile between them. No words, but a signal of truce. As the sun starts to set, the mood changes. The colors in the sky turn soft and warm. Elio and Oliver finally let go of the tension. They jump into the lake, splashing water like little kids. For the first time, they're free, laughing, yelling, shouting each other's names across the water. There's no more pretending. For now, they're just two souls letting go. The next day, Elio and Oliver visit a quiet post-war historical site. The place holds deep meaning for Elio. He knows every detail of its past and speaks with passion, telling Oliver everything he remembers. Oliver listens closely. He understands it all, but there's a silent agreement between them not to dig too deep. Some feelings, some truths are better left unspoken. If Elio had still been holding on to hope, that moment crushes it. The stories, the history, the pain, none of it brings them closer. Instead, the wind feels colder and the distance between them grows. Only the gentle breeze and the beautiful view bring him any comfort. Trying to escape the awkwardness, Elio invites Oliver to go somewhere else. He leads him away from the busy roads and takes him along a path only he knows. They ride past the mainland, pushing their bikes through rough trails until they reach the edge of a cliff. Below them lies a small, hidden bay, silent, untouched by time. There are no houses, no windows, no boats. Just the sea, the rocks, and the sky. Here, they don't have to pretend. There's no one watching. No expectations. No rules. The noise of the world fades away. Oliver turns to Elio, and in a slow, almost hesitant gesture, he reaches out. His finger gently brushes across Elio's lips, soft and uncertain. The moment builds between them like a wave rising quietly but powerfully. Then Oliver finally gives in. He kisses Elio, the boy who has stirred something deep in his heart. For a moment, the world stops. Afterward, they both act as if nothing happened. They get back on their bikes, ride home in silence, and walk into a crowd of guests in the yard. People are talking loudly, laughing, debating. Elio sits down and pretends to listen, but inside his emotions are like a storm. Everything feels too much, too loud, too bright. Under the table, he taps his foot nervously, trying to shake off the overwhelming feelings. The heat of the afternoon sun mixes with the heat of his thoughts. Suddenly, he feels a nosebleed starting. Without making a scene, he quickly stands up and hurries to the kitchen for ice. But he's not alone for long. Oliver follows him quietly, stepping into the kitchen with concern written across his face. He kneels in front of Elio, takes his leg gently, and starts to massage it. Slowly, carefully, first holding the ankle with both hands. Then, as if guided by instinct, Oliver leans in and kisses Elio's ankle softly. It's not just affection, it's something deeper, tender, complicated, real. They don't say a word. The kitchen stays quiet, but the air between them is charged, full of things neither of them can put into words. After everything that happened, Elio wants to show his feelings in a simple but meaningful way. He chooses to wear a necklace, just like Oliver's. It's the exact same design, a small gesture, but full of emotion. When Elio's mother sees it, she doesn't ask questions. She simply watches, quietly understanding what it means. A mother always knows. Elio believes that after they shared that kiss and that silent moment, everything between them would finally change, that their hearts would be open, that there would be no more pretending. But reality doesn't match his hope. Instead of growing closer, Oliver begins to pull away. He starts disappearing for long stretches, not saying where he's going. Elio spends hours near the gate, waiting, hoping Oliver will return. The long, hot days pass slowly. The nights are even worse, silent except for the sound of insects. With each passing night, Elio's hope fades a little more. One night, Oliver finally comes home, but it's already midnight. He looks tired, his eyes dull. Elio says nothing, but in his heart, a bitter thought takes root. He imagines Oliver out with girls, laughing, dancing, touching. The thought hurts more than he expected. The next day, the summer sun is as harsh as ever. Elio calls Marzia and keeps repeating her name, as if trying to remind himself, or someone else, of something. That night, he stays out late, wandering with no clear goal. It feels like he's avoiding something, or maybe someone. When morning arrives, the soft light being out all night, but Elio doesn't smile. He avoids Oliver's eyes and says nothing. Inside, he's conflicted. He wants to act like everything is normal, like none of it matters. But part of him aches to be understood without saying a word. That silent wish burns quietly in his chest, waiting for someone, anyone, to notice. Later that week, the afternoon sun filters through the garden leaves, casting sparkling spots of light on the ground. The mood is lazy, dreamlike. A special couple visits the house, older, quiet, but full of grace. The way they interact is subtle, yet clear. Their soft gestures, the way they look at each other, the comfort in their silence. It says everything. Elio watches them carefully. Something about their connection moves him. It's not loud or dramatic. It's gentle, honest, real. He wonders if he and Oliver could ever be like that, if such a bond is even possible for them, or if it's already slipping away. The light dances across the walls, but in Elio's heart, a shadow lingers. Something about the visiting couple touches Elio deeply. The way they show love, not through big words or dramatic actions, but through quiet understanding, makes him think about what love really means. Moved by this feeling, he returns to his room. That's when he finds a note sitting on his desk. It's from Oliver. 4 simple words. Meet me at midnight. Elio's heart leaps. Joy floods his chest like a warm spring breeze. He twirls around in his room, unable to contain the excitement. All the pain, all the waiting, suddenly it doesn't matter anymore. When midnight finally arrives, the stars shine gently above the rooftops. Elio shows his hands are cold and his heart won't stop pounding. Then, in the quiet night, Oliver gently reaches out and touches him. No words are spoken because none are needed. Their hearts already understand each other. They go inside. At first, they lean in and everything else fades away. All the doubts, the fears, and the confusion fall apart. Their lips meet in a kiss that feels like truth. For the first time, there's no pretending, no masks, just love, pure and powerful. Their hearts, once guarded, now open completely. But just like every summer must end, their time together is running out. The day of Oliver's departure is drawing closer. 6 short weeks have passed. Yet to Elio, it feels like a lifetime. He doesn't want to let go. Not now, not after everything they've shared. Elio's parents, kind and understanding, arrange one last trip for them, a final escape. The mountain air is cool and soft. As they run through the hills, the wind whips through their hair. Leaves rustle gently in the trees, like nature is singing a goodbye song just for them. They shout each other's names across the open fields, their voices echoing in the valleys. That night, they walk hand in hand through quiet alleys in a strange town. The cobblestone streets feel magical. Everything seems to glow a little brighter. Even in this place they've never been, happiness follows them like a shadow. But his blue shirt, the same one he wore the day they met. He stands beside the car, holding Oliver tightly. It's not just a hug. It's a desperate wish to never let go. At the train station, Elio watches the train pull away. Oliver becomes smaller and smaller until he's gone. Elio stays sitting there on the bench, staring into the distance. Everything around him is still. Later, he calls home. His voice is heavy with sadness. On the ride back, he finally breaks down and cries, freely, openly, like a child who just lost something irreplaceable. When Elio returns home, his father is already sitting on the sofa, waiting for him. Most parents. He doesn't wish for his son to quickly forget this summer love. He doesn't want him to rush past the pain or pretend it didn't happen. Instead, he wants Elio to feel it. Because pain, too, is part of growing. And this love, this heartbreak, will become a part of Elio forever. His father understands that. He wants his son to carry this memory with him. Not as something to regret, but as something to treasure. After all, not everyone gets to feel something so real, so deeply true, even once in their life. Time passes. The warm days of summer fade into the cold gray of winter. The trees are bare. The house feels quieter. Elio still waits, though he doesn't always admit it to himself. And then one day, the phone rings. He answers, and the moment he hears Oliver's voice on the other end of the line, his heart stirs. That voice, once so familiar and close, now feels distant and dreamlike. Still, it brings back everything. Like a wave crashing into his chest. Emotions rush over him, longing, joy, pain, all at once. They speak, but the words feel thin, as if the call is too short, too fragile to hold everything they once were. Then the line goes silent. Elio doesn't cry. Not yet. He just hangs up the phone quietly and walks to the fireplace. The fire crackles softly. Its orange glow dances across the walls of the room. Elio sits on the rug in front of it, folding his knees shimmer in the firelight. He doesn't speak. He just watches the flames. And slowly his mind begins to drift. Not away from the pain, but deeper into it. Into the memory. He goes back to the beginning. Back to the long afternoons. The rustling trees, the sunlit roads. Back to the cliffside, the bay, the blue shirt, and the shared glances that said more than words ever could. It's all still there, fresh in his mind like it happened only yesterday. That innocent summer. The beauty. The joy. The confusion. The heartbreak. And above all, the love. Their eyes meet again, not in real life, but in memory. And in that silent moment, everything is said. Everything is understood. "Call me by your name," Oliver had once whispered. It wasn't just a phrase, it was a promise, a connection, a story that was always going to end, yet was still worth living. Because some summers change everything, and some love stories, even when they're over, live on forever in the quiet corners of the heart.